from Camping Relax-Nat, everybody. So this morning I am going to explore a nearby nude beach. It's Saturday morning, the sun is out, so I am going to explore Roja. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Please excuse my mispronunciation, because I've discovered some facts whilst I'm here that I'm in the Catalonian region, or Catalonia, so they say and pronounce things differently. So I also don't know if it's Platja, Roja, or just Roja. But anyhow, I spoke to the gentleman at reception, and he said it was about 10 kilometers from Camping Relax-Nat, where I am staying. I put it into maps and it said about a 25-minute drive. And apparently the parking is not so far from the beach, because there are quite a few nude beaches here in the Costa Brava region that I'm wanting to explore whilst I'm here for the week at Camping Relax-Nat, but a couple of them are a little bit of a hike from the car park to the nude beach. So I thought this one sounded, the beach sounded in close proximity to the car park, so I thought I would explore this one first. So I am so excited. It looks stunning. I believe Roja translates to Red Island, because there's like a big rock formation that's sort of jutting out of the water. So I'm excited to explore and bring you along, and I'm hoping to get there before the crowds and get a car park. So let's get going, and I will see you at Roja. Okay everybody, so I have arrived. Well, I'm not exactly at Roja, but I have got some parking. I put something in my GPS and on my phone, and there were two different locations. So the GPS would not here, it wouldn't let me put Playa de Pals. I have no idea how to pronounce these things. Oh my gosh, the rock formations really look so pretty. But I just put it in my phone, my iPhone, and I just zoomed in and I found some parking right near Roja, which is parking Playa del Raco. It is paid parking, €2 per hour. I'm okay with that. It seems very close, like the beach is right there, but I believe I'm just going to be turning right when I get to the beach. Let's have a look at this map very quickly. Okay, so yes, so I'll be turning right to get to the nude beach. In terms of free parking, there's like all these shops down there. I don't know if there's maybe some free parking down there, but this is the most convenient for me. I'm here way later than I thought, so I took the wrong turn before. So let's get exploring. I'm guessing we're going to be going up those stairs and around that rock head. I have no idea, maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't guess that. Maybe I'll go and have a look over this side of the beach. Okay, yes, so we are going to go up and around the rocks here to get to Roja. Okay, yes, so from the parking space, we're going to go around the rocks. When you turn right on the beach, you want to go up and around like the rocks. The Nude Beach, Platja Nudista. Hello everybody, so I am here at Roja, and during my stay I decided to move because when you arrive on the beach you'll see the big reddish coloured rock, and I initially was like to the left of that, but after going for a little walk, it's like a little cove here, so to the right of the rock is like a little cove, and at the time when I got here it seemed to be a higher concentration of nudists, less people, but a higher concentration of nudists, because I have definitely found that there is a combination of nudies and textiles, but there seems to be a whole party going on next to me with a heap of textile people, but there's still a fair few nudies here. The water was looking gentler, but the water is definitely very rough here. Like the current seemed very strong, and it looks to be like a pretty steep drop off, and that's what I had read as well. So I think you want to be a pretty experienced swimmer if you are or confident out in the water if you're going to take a swim out here. I don't know if it's like this every day, but from what I was reading, it's pretty rough out there. I'm getting hot. I need to go and sit in the shade with all the textiles. But yeah, so I have moved to the right of the rock when you are facing the ocean. And yeah, there just seems to be nudists all along the beach anyway, so I think you can go to either the left or the right of the rock, because even to the left of the rock there's like signage saying Platja nudista, so it seems like it's all nude friendly anyhow. But it's definitely getting busier as it gets later in the day. I had endeavoured to get here early before the crowd started turning up. It wasn't crazy busy when I got here, but busy enough that it's hard to, you know, really show you like the beach in its entirety, because there are people now scattered all over the beach. So I'm wondering if I get time at all during my trip or during my stay at Camping Relax-Nat, if the weather remains this lovely, if I would be able to get down here early so that I can film the whole beach. But I think, you know, you kind of get the gist of it anyway. Yeah, the pebbles are lovely until I was walking on them for quite some time. I think coming from Australia, I'm quite used to the sandy beaches, the soft sand beneath my feet on a beach. So after a little while, it's definitely comfortable enough you don't need shoes, but after walking on them for a while, my feet were a little bit like it's like irritated a little bit. I feel like that's the word, not painful, not sore, just a little bit irritated. So yeah, but I suppose the benefit of that is that you don't get the mess of sand. So yeah, it's not as messy. I suppose when it's windy, it's not as much of an issue like it is when you're on a sandy beach. So I suppose that's the benefit of these pebble beaches, and I suppose why some people prefer the pebble beaches over a sandy beach. I still prefer a sandy beach. But yeah, so I think I need to get in the shade. There is a little bit of natural shading from like the rock, the big rock faces. I'm not always like hugely keen on sitting right beneath big rock faces. At my hometown beach, Southside, it's like a big no-no. I mean, they're a fair bit taller, and I mean these, yeah, but there are people definitely sitting within the shade. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, that's my read on this place thus far. It is beautiful, really beautiful. That big rock there that sort of sits in the middle, well, not in the middle of the beach, maybe 2/3 of the way across. Obviously one of the big standout beaches here, and then you've got like, you can see some towns in the background, some other big like rock facades in the background, and then the beautiful sparkling water. And yeah, definitely like a mixed demographic here. So you've got like older couples and you've got younger groups of friends. So a very diverse group of people here as well, which is always really nice to see. I think like when I was in France last year, similar kind of thing. They're just, you know, compared to the beaches that I've been to in Australia, there seems to definitely be a more diverse crowd at the beaches here in Europe, like in terms of a diversity of age ranges and demographics, which is really nice to see. Very encouraging to see more, you know, younger people getting involved in the nudist lifestyle, so that's really nice. And then yeah, it's really nice to see like textiles and nudists like really coexisting, like the textiles not having a problem with all the nudists around them, and well, seemingly so anyway. Yeah, and I suppose this isn't like a hidden nude beach. There's very obvious signage stating that this is a nude beach, so I don't think, you know, you kind of come here and you all of a sudden people around you start getting undressed and you're like, why? Because I was reading some reviews on different beaches around Spain that I'm potentially visiting, and some of them being a bit more isolated and secluded, so people being a little bit surprised that it was a nude beach, but then also understanding that I suppose it is so secluded, why wouldn't it be a nude beach? But here there's very obvious signage. It's obviously a nude friendly beach. So yeah, right, I'll see you all in a bit. everybody, I am back here at Camping Relax-Nat after spending the day at Roja, a beautiful new beach which was about a 25-minute drive from Camping Relax-Nat here in the Costa Brava region. So this is a naturist campsite that I'm staying at, and there are a plethora of nude beaches in the vicinity of this campsite. So today I decided to go to Roja, which is very accessible, 25-minute drive. Parking, I opted for paid parking just because I think some of the free parking was already getting pretty busy, but and I wanted to be as close to the beach as possible. So Playa del Roca, don't know if that's how you say it, but I just went to that car park, and it's €2 per hour, or you can get a €20 day pass, I believe. But it just meant you're pretty much on the beach as soon as you walk onto the beach, turn right and head to Roja. And beautiful beach, very synonymous with that big red kind of island rock jutting out of the water, which I'm going to assume that the beach is named after Roja, Red Island. It's a really beautiful beach, and very much a combination of nudists and textiles, but very clear signage that it is a nude beach, or a nude friendly beach. So I don't think anyone's really going to be surprised to stumble across this beach and find nude people on it, because there's some really obvious signage all over the place. But definitely, I would say nearly like a 50-50 kind of mix of nudists and textiles. It seemed that more and more textiles came throughout the day, but everyone seemingly just coexists very happily, which is really nice. And obviously a great way for people who are wanting to maybe dip their toe into the whole social nudity thing, to be at a beach where you don't feel pressure, and and very much a diversity of ages at the beach. So lots of young families, young couples, middle-aged couples, older couples, lots of young groups of friends as well, lots of big groups, a lot of the textiles as well, like big groups of textiles, but really nice. And yeah, just really nice to see a lot of young people and nude young people at the nude beach as well. So got a little bit pink. My feet feel irritated from those coarse rocks. And on my way back to the car, the rocks were so hot. So I definitely advise, I had my sandals, but still it's like the rocks get in there. But I definitely advise bringing flip-flops or sandals, because yeah, the rocks get really hot. Like I saw people just like running because their feet was like burning. And yeah, overall really beautiful beach. I would highly recommend if you're in the Costa Brava region. If you're here at Camping Relax-Nat, I would definitely recommend taking the 25 or so minute drive to go and check out Roja. And I was speaking to a Dutch couple on the beach, and they were saying that when you get to Playa del Roca, so to get to Roja you turn right, but if you go left, apparently a few hundred meters down is another nude beach. I don't know, I didn't get the name of it, but they said you'll see these apartment blocks, and when I was filming I could see them in the distance, and it wasn't so far from the car park. But you just go left, but it's just a more open stretch of beach, I guess, from looking at the beach from afar. And going to Roja, I'd say Roja is like probably more beautiful, because it's got that cove it's got the cove, the big rock, but I'm sure the other beach is lovely too. I thought about going, but I was already getting very sun-kissed. Big day of filming, so I skipped it. But if I have time, whilst I'm here at Camping Relax-Nat and I can get all my filming done here and I have spare time, I might make the drive to go check out the other nude beach there. Otherwise I still have a couple in the area that I still want to check out as well. So lots to do, lots to see. But if you are in the area I definitely recommend checking out Ilha Roja. It is beautiful. Alright, so I hope you have enjoyed this video and I look forward to seeing you in the next nudie adventure.